Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. So I'm here with a weekly update just to let you guys know what I've been up to, what I've been doing. It's been a really quiet week. I have not gone anywhere really. I think all I've done this week is maybe some Amazon returns, and Adrian and I went out and got a beer a couple times last week, or over the course of the last 7 days. But other than that, I've done absolutely nothing outside of the house except, work and things like that. It's been calm. It's been calm, relatively speaking. There is a leak in my roof, which I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We got a big rain Saturday, and it started leaking in my space down here. So I don't know where the leak is coming from. So got to figure that out. That was unexpected. But, such is life. There's always something. But I did want to say, I had last week when I did my video, I had a quote for you guys. And I was really inspired by that quote. It was basically, you are currently living at least one of the prayers you used to pray. And that when I read that quote, it kind of sat with me for a while, and it really helped to change my perspective, because I've had some issues over the past couple of years with my mental health, things that I'd never experienced before. I'm sure some of it is the hormonal changes that come with menopause. And then part of it is that my life has just now changed, in that I was, a busy mom for so many years. And now my children are at an age where they don't need me in the same way that they used to. And so I have more time to myself. I'm not busy all the time. I used to fall into bed every night. I was up, at 6 a.m. I had to get the kids ready for school, then I had, work, pick kids up from daycare. I'm getting home at, 6:30 in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening. And then I've got dinner to prepare and dishes to wash and laundry to fold. So it was just a crazy time. And I didn't really have a lot of time to think about myself or how I was feeling, because I was just too busy for that. And post 2020, my life has just calmed down a lot more. And I'm not running all the time like I used to be. And so I've had more time to think, and I think that's also part of it as well. I just have space to feel things, whereas I didn't have that space before. You know what I mean? So I've just been looking at other quotes for inspiration, and one that really struck me, especially because this year has been going by so quickly for me. I don't know how it's been for you guys, but 2024 was a drag. It dragged. It took forever for 2024 to be over. Okay? 2025, not as much. July is over. It's July 24th today. July is over, and it feels like it was just January 1st, a minute ago. And one of the quotes that I found that resonated with me was, "The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot." And that is a bar. That is a word right there. Time flies, but I'm the pilot. I get to decide. I get to decide what to do with this time. And that's important. That resonated with me, because I got to take ownership. I have to take responsibility for what I do in this time. And I have to make every day count. You know what I mean? I have to make every action count. That is on me. The onus is on me. I'm the pilot. You know what I mean? And I don't know. That resonated with me. So on to my updates about what I've been working on, the fun stuff. Now, I did get... So I've been struggling in my crochet lately, and I couldn't figure out why. And it's because I didn't listen to my own advice, right? I told myself that I would have 2 projects going, a blanket and then a smaller project. And right now, All I've got are blankets. I'm supposed to have like a main project, which would be, whatever blanket I'm working on. And then my side project is supposed to be something a little smaller. And then I have something that I keep at work, which I have not touched because I really haven't been going into the office very much. And when I have gone in, I've been busy and I haven't really been able to take a break. Like I haven't really taken a lunch break. Because normally I've been using my lunch break to come home so I don't get the hour to crochet. I haven't spent like a full 8-hour day in the office. I'll go in, when I do go in, I'll work for a few hours, 4 or 5 hours maybe, and then I'll use my lunch break to come home, and then I'll finish my day from home because that is something that I'm allowed to do at the moment. At least at the moment, that's what I'm allowed to do. That may change in the future, but I'm allowed to do that in the moment. And so instead of like using my lunch break to crochet, I've been using my lunch break to just come home. And so I haven't worked at all on my blanket for work. I haven't touched it, and that's fine. It's a long-term project. I honestly didn't know I'd ever pick it back up again when I started it. So the fact that I've gotten anything done on it at all is a win in my book. But I didn't have the smaller project to work on. Like everything was a blanket, and I have another blanket that I started for the live crochets that I do with Katy. Our live was canceled this week on Tuesday. We were supposed to have a live on Tuesday, and I was going to work on that blanket during that live, but Katy wasn't feeling well, so we didn't have that, and so I didn't get to work on it. So nothing was getting done. I was getting so discouraged because it's like, I'll spend a couple hours here crocheting, a couple hours there crocheting, a couple hours here, a couple hours over there, and nothing was getting done. Like I didn't have any marked progress on anything, and I was starting to get discouraged, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then I remembered, I told myself, the advice to myself that I gave to myself was to have a smaller project going. Yes, you can have your blanket going, or 2 blankets if you want, but you need to have that smaller project to where if you do 2 hours on that, it's going to be a noticeable chunk of progress completed on that project. And I wasn't doing that. Well, the other day when I went to do my Amazon returns, of course, I had to stop at Michael's. Right? Because I had some yarn that I needed to return. And I returned the yarn. But while I was in there, of course, they had some stuff on sale. So I ended up with some Woolies Thick and Quick that they had on sale for $3 a skein. And I got this gray. I think I have, was it 4 skeins of the gray? And hold on. Yeah, so I have 4 skeins of gray and 3 skeins of the navy. These were all $3 a piece. So I'm like, Woolies Thick and Quick for $3. I don't need yarn, but I'm not about to pass up $3 for Woolies Thick and Quick. And they're like colors that I can use, colors that I like, colors that match my home. I've got the gray, I've got the blue. Hey, why not? Right? So I got the yarn, but then they also had 1 skein of the Karen big cakes, right? I'm pretty sure I threw away the label. I don't think I have the label anymore, so I can't tell you anything about the yarn. Did I don't know. Let me check here. I don't know if I put it on my yarn inventory list. I probably did because I'd be pretty anal sometimes. Let's see. Karen big cakes. Did I? No, maybe I didn't. I'll have to go up and look at the specs, but it wasn't like on, it wasn't on super sale. Hold on, I gotta put my, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. It wasn't on super sale, right? But it was $6.99. And I believe that yarn normally goes for $12.99. So $7 from $13. It wasn't dirt cheap. You know, I would prefer it was $3, but I was like $7, I'll pick it up. And the color palette was called Red Velvet, right? Red Velvet. That was the color palette. And it was basically grays and burgundies. And I'm like, well, I love those colors, especially together. I literally have a sweater that matches the color of this yarn. So I'm actually pretty excited for winter to come and be able to wear that sweater with that scarf. I think that's going to be a cute look with some boots. I love me boots and sweaters in the winter. So I'm excited about that. So I worked that up in like 3 days of crocheting. Like I just decided to start it one day. So I brought the yarn home. I guess that would have been, I'm not sure if, I can't remember. It's got to be Saturday. I believe it was Saturday. I believe it was Saturday that I went out. I went to the UPS store. I went to Staples. I went to the Dollar Tree. I went to Michael's. And I believe it was Saturday. Yes, because Chick-fil-A was open. Crazy how we remember things. Chick-fil-A was open, so it couldn't have been Sunday. It had to be Saturday because I got Chick-fil-A that day. And so they had the one skein. They only had one of these cakes. So I got the one cake and I started working on it. I think I picked up the yarn on Tuesday when I started working it, and today is Thursday. I finished the scarf this morning. And basically I used the same stitch almost that I did for this, kind of, in a way. Yeah, I think, was it this one? And I can't even remember what I'd be doing. No, it's a little different. It's called the brick stitch. I feel like I've done the stitch before, or at least I call it the brick stitch. I don't know the formal name, but it's an infinity scarf. I basically started with a foundation double crochet, and I joined it in the round. I did have, that probably took the longest of all of it, doing the row of foundation double crochet and then looking at the YouTube instructions on how to join a foundation double crochet in the round. That took some time because I had never done, I'm not really good at foundation stitches. Not that I'm not good at them, but I just don't do it enough to remember how to do them. So anytime I'm going to do it, I have to look at the instructions real quick to learn how to make those foundation stitches. But a lot of times I just prefer to do the foundation stitches and then working into a long chain. Like, and this is a really long chain. This is done in multiples of 3. My gauge, my tension is a bit off because I knew I was playing yarn chicken here. I only had the one skein. And so you can, when I wear the scarf, no one will ever know. You can only really tell by how it starts to curl here. And that's because the tension is a little bit tighter. Because I had like just enough. This is all the yarn I have left. That's it. That's not much. I probably could have loosened up my tension a little bit. But since I started with a row of foundation double crochet, I wanted to end with a row of double crochet just to kind of keep things even. But this is the scarf here. And it's long enough to double it. Right? You know, and I can choose to have more of the red show. I can choose to have more of the gray show. But it was just such a quick project. It was such a good palette cleanser. And I did find this new app. I mean, well, the app is not new. It's new to me, though. I found this app called My Row Counter. My ROW Counter. And according to My Row Counter, I spent 4 hours and 52 minutes on this project. That's how long it took me to complete. So, and there's probably a few more minutes that could be added on because I didn't start the counter right away. I'm not used to using the app. But I do like it. I like the app because what you can do is you can just kind of put all your projects up there, right? I don't have all of mine up there, but like, and I don't have like all the pictures, but like I can, like say my 6-day star blanket, I added it on there, but it's kind of after the fact, but you can actually upload the pattern and you can set it to where every time you complete a row, you hit the button and it adds a row. You can do a stitch counter if you wanted to, where you do your stitches, where you can tell it every time you make a stitch. You can, to me, I would never do that. That's a bit much for me. I like to use stitch markers for that, but I thought it was great for using it for my rows. And I love the timer feature of it. I love the timer feature. But this is the first project that I've ever done using this app. And it, like I said, it's just for me to keep track of what I'm working on. You can have it upload to Ravelry should you choose, which I think is a pretty neat feature. There is a free version of the app, which is what I'm using right now. However, I am on a 7-day trial to try the full app. Because if you get the 7-day trial, the paid version of the app allows you to like change the time. Let's say you have the wrong time on there as far as how much time you spent working on something, right? If you've got the wrong time on there, then you can go in and correct it with the paid version, whereas you can't correct it with the free version. And you know, there are other things. I'm still working on it. I'll probably do the paid version of the app because I do like being able to adjust the time. But the paid version is only $12.99 for a year. And I think that that's pretty stinking reasonable. And right now I like using this app. I like it a lot. I like having my pattern just right there in the app for me. And so while I'm working, I can actually like pull up my pattern. And I don't know. So far I'm liking it. There are a couple more projects that I'm working on that are active whips. Like my work blanket is not in here. I have to put that one in here. But I think the work blanket is the only one that I haven't put in. The other projects I've put in, but maybe I haven't put all the information in yet. I like that there's a notes section so I can say, you know, when I began the project, the yarn that I used and the hook that I used, because those are things that I forget. And yes, I do have this on paper, but a lot of times I don't have the paper available with me when I'll like grab the project, but I don't have the paper because I don't keep the tracking sheet that I use. I don't keep that with the project. I keep that separate from the project. So, you know, I don't know. But I love how this came out, and it was a great palette cleanser. It was great because if I had done anything other than this scarf over that period of time, I would have only completed maybe, I don't know, like let's say I got 4 rows done on one of my blankets. It's like, great, you got 4 rows done, but you still got 60, 70, 80 more rows to go, right? Whereas with this, I get 4 rows done. 4 rows is, let's see, you know, 2 inches. You know, this is 4 rows. This red, like this is 2 rows right here, and this is 2 rows right here. So, you know, just really got to go far. I used a larger hook size than recommended for this yarn. This is a regular 4 weight yarn. It recommends a 5 millimeter hook. I used a 6.5 because that is what I felt like using. I wanted a bigger drape and also wanted something that was going to go by a little quicker. Although, like I said, it was a bit hectic at the end there when I started playing Yarn Chicken. You know, that last little bit was, you know, I got a little anxiety hoping I'd have enough yarn. I haven't worked on any of my blankets. None of them. I just picked that up. I just decided to grab that skein of yarn and just go. And it's been great. So like I said, I started it July 21st. So that would have been Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I believe Monday, all I did was the foundation row and joining it. And then the other days I did other stuff. And this morning, because I was up like at 7 this morning. So I just kind of sat in bed and finished the blanket. And it took less than an hour. So it was great. It's great. It's great to have a finish. It feels really good to have a finish. And I've got a quilt finish as well. Where is it? Lord have mercy. I don't know where I put it. Well, shoot. Let me find it. All right. So I finished my other Open Gate quilt subscription project. And this wouldn't have been July or June. This would be the May project. No, this is June. I think last week I showed you guys May. This was May. I got that done last week. And this was June. So, yep. So June, I think all I had to do on this one was complete the quilting, trim it, and bind it. For my quilting, all I chose to do, I think I had already stitched it in the ditch. So these, the vertical and horizontal lines you see were already completed. For the additional quilting, I just did the diagonal lines that you see. I just saw it. Anyway, yeah, I just did these diagonal lines. I did not decide to cross hatch them because it's just, I didn't want to. And it's a table topper. It's a table runner. So it's not going to be washed a ton. And it's, when I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. It's enough. I also finished the small project, which was the little bag. I can tell you right now that I did this bag all wrong. I'm pretty sure I did it wrong. I don't know why it's harder for me to do the small projects than it is for me to do the large ones, but it is. I can tell you I messed this thing up. I tried to follow the instructions. I did end up with a bag. I just don't think I did it right. Actually, I know I didn't do it right. And that's on me. I have trouble following directions. But I did get it done. It doesn't look the best, but it is functional. It is functional, but not the best looking. So I do want to give this another shot because I do think that these could make potentially good gifts if I can get my act together, if I can get my stuff together. I can tell you I sewed it the wrong way. So I'm probably going to watch a YouTube video on these bags. I've saved a couple to my YouTube playlist just to watch some folks put it together so that I can do it properly the next time. So yeah, there's that. So I did get those two done. I got all that done in the last 7 days. So I'm pretty pleased with myself, actually. I'm pretty pleased with myself. Because that's three finishes. That's three finishes. And so I'm happy. I'm really happy. Part of it was because we did do a live. So I did join Katy's birthday, her channel birthday, so live. So, and that's when I got this done. So it was a really productive time. We do have another show coming up on Saturday. It's going to be, I know it's me, Katy, Janice over at The Right Way, and I believe there's someone else, but I can't remember who it is, but it will be Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's that going on. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's been, I don't know. I'm been in a good place. I'm in a nice mellow place. And like I said, I don't know if it's the adaptogens I've been taking or the ashwagandha I told you guys about, or if it's just because my hormones are more in balance. I have no idea. But I just feel remarkably calm these days. Like even my delivery in this video. Like normally I'm like, I'm like, I always feel like I'm all over the place, but I don't feel like that today. I feel strangely calm, and it's nice. It's nice. I'm kind of waiting for the shoe to drop here. Like why am I so calm? But anyway, I'm proud of myself. Really happy that what I've gotten accomplished, and now I got to figure out what I want to work on next. I got to figure out what I want to work on for Saturday's live show. So I'll probably, I don't even want to speculate because I don't know what I'm going to be working on, but I'm excited. I feel good. I feel productive. And I am anxious. I'm anxious to crochet today. Like, I don't know. I cannot explain it to you, but it's like when you are just working on something and working on something and working on something, and it's not finished. After hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, it's not finished. Like, it is demoralizing, at least for me right now, right? It's not always been that way, but it is for me right now. And so I have to have, my brain just needs that mental boost of, yay, I finished. Yay, I'm halfway, and with a blanket, it just takes a long time to get to that halfway point. And normally I try to do it by skeins of yarn. Like, hey, I finished this skein of yarn. So that's one skein down, but it's just not working. It's not working. And so I'm just very, very glad that I decided this week to pick up a new project, even though I know I got too many going already, but I didn't care. I picked it up and I got it done in days, and that makes me happy. So happy. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know what was up with me, what I've been doing, what I've been up to, my recent finishes. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with all the stuff I'm making. I know I had some donation locations. I think I need to reach back. I need to get all of the stuff organized. I know I'm not gonna do it right now. It's just too hot. I think when September comes, I just need to go through everything that I've made that I do not need to keep or want to keep, and put them in a donate pile and take them to a couple of places that I know. There's one place that I volunteered for through my job, and I normally try to volunteer with them at the end of the year when they need the most help, when people need the most help. And so I think I'm going to get all my stuff together, all my crochet blankets, all my quilted items, blankets, table runners, table toppers, wall hangings that I don't want to keep for myself. Get that all organized, get it put into some kind of storage basket or bin, so that it is ready to take with me when I start volunteering at the end of the year. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. That's it for me. It's been quiet. Like, it feels weird. It feels weird to not be running my mouth. Normally I'm at the 45-minute mark because I can't stop freaking running my mouth, but not today. Not today. Remarkably calm today. So, guys, that is it for me. Like, comment, subscribe if you will, and I will see you on the next video.